For your information, I just want to let you know that this video isn't what you'll think it will be. This is an explanation and reasons as to why I took Clyde so personally. I just want to let you know that my temper might rise a little and will contain some minor rants. I also don't mean to directly attack anyone I formally repressed. I would also like to inform you that these answers aren't excuses or any signs of gullibility. They're reasons and answers and must be respected and forgiven. Also, please don't take certain elements in this video as false redemption when it really is redemption. Anyway, this video is dedicated to Stewart Studios 5 and Trend Lover 16. One chapter will be me complaining about someone being ungrateful. There is one particular person from Mexico that I did repress. However, due to certain relationship issues, he will be featured but not discussed. I also apologize if some of the things I say might be a bit demanding, and I'm sorry if these might come across as a bit bossy or something like that. I also don't mean to be demanding, by the way. However, with all said, please enjoy the video, and expect there to be some, oh god, there it goes again moments. So November the 7th, 2022, and the trailer for the Austeam mission comes out, and as an Australian I got very hyped to see 3801 in the trailer. For a while I was thinking, if anyone does a film that features 3801 and Scotsman as Tom's characters, we are going to have a glorious film with the two royal celebrities of the nations. There has to be. And I had high hopes when I saw 3801 in the trailer. However, something felt ominous about him in the trailer, the way he says, "There's two of them." That made me feel mildly concerned. You see, for a while, after watching the trailer a few times, I couldn't stop asking myself, why do I feel like I should do something wrong? It wasn't until when my instincts really showed me. It wasn't until when it was revealed that 3801 was the villain in the film, and I was like, no, that can't be 3801. Oh my god. Why is he using 3801? Oh god, what is he gonna do? Seeing that just made me distraught. Seeing the famous engine in Down Under against the famous steam engine in England, wanting to sabotage his tour due to jealousy. Unlike most of the other Australians, I took it very personally. So personally that I opinion bashed the British actor, an American, and a Mexican. And so much so that I made a rant video. To be honest, I think I need to explain how inconsistent 3801's character is. 3801 is without a doubt the equivalent of Flying Scotsman of Australia, and it is a very loved engine here, and is what we treat as a hero, and seeing it as a villain is something that I think is totally disrespectful. I don't know what Stewart's intention was on making 3801 the villain in the Austeam mission. Did he honestly stop and think, wait, 3801 is the most beloved engine in Australia. How would the Australians feel to see their beloved engine as a villain? This, in my opinion, was just a selfish and disrespectful choice to make. If 3801 is the equivalent of Flying Scotsman, then why would he have this personality? It does not make sense. That's right, I'm talking to you, Trend Lover 16. Okay. Breathe. Look, Trend Lover 16, I'm sorry to shout at you like that, really, but I think I need to tell you why your reason doesn't make sense. You see, equivalent means equal, and 3801 is the equal of Flying Scotsman, and people write Flying Scotsman as a selfless, humble, proud, polite, and naive engine, and therefore if Flying Scotsman can act like that, then so can 3801. And if 3801 found out that he is the equivalent of Flying Scotsman, then wouldn't that make him pleased and want to work with him? And if 3801 is really the equivalent of Flying Scotsman, then wouldn't he act like the Flying Scotsman? I mean, not pretend he is Scotsman, but same personality, instincts, and behaviour? So yeah, Trend Lover 16, do you see now why it doesn't make sense for him to be jealous and sabotage his tour? Before I start, I know what you're thinking. You just said why. Why are you repeating it? Well, actually, that's a proof of reason. I just need to tell you about my thoughts when you say this phrase. Now don't panic, I'm not going to attack you on saying this phrase. I just need to tell you how Aussies are going to feel when you say this. Now, I'm not going to force you to admit it's false, but you see, because we love 3801 so much, Aussies are going to take offense to when you say this phrase. And also, I too am Australian, so I'm going to take offense to it as well. By the way, I actually don't hate you for voicing 3801, I just hate the things you said about it. And by the way, you are a good YouTuber and make very interesting content on my part, and maybe I'll subscribe to you. Again, you're a great YouTuber, just don't say that particular phrase. Sorry for abusing your opinion and for the fact of being the voice actor. Also, sorry for telling you to go f*** yourself, and for saying stop talking shit about 3801. Something I found out is that he too thinks 3801 as a villain is rather controversial idea, and that he too also thinks that it could have been done better, yet he still thinks that it makes sense for 3801 to be jealous and want to sabotage his tour, which is rather hypocritical to me that he thinks so. It's not hypocritical. Well, I'm not going to attack you again, but it's kind of true. Thinking 3801 would sabotage the tour and be the villain, yet still think it's controversial and wrong, but that's your reason, but that's your opinion, so I'll leave it be. By the way, no offense or anything, but I really wish it wasn't you who voiced 3801. I really wish it was someone from my country. Now, if I read the script, I would have said, Nah, you're not writing this. Why are you running him like this? 3801 can't be like this. Change him now. Rich coming from me, I know. But that is what I would say if I read the script, and maybe this would have stopped Stuart from villainizing 3801. As well as thinking of Flying Scotsman and 3801 having a possible glorious film with each other, the main reason is because... Have you ever had an idea of making something of your own, and you see someone who has the exact same idea as yours? However, their result is much different than yours on a number of levels that you can't help but take your anger out on people who liked their idea? Yeah, that is the reason. You see, I too am thinking of characterizing 3801. Okay, so believe it or not, and as gullible as it may sound, I have plans to become a future animated film director, and since 2021 I've been thinking of making a film that takes place in the Thomas universe about 3801. It's called The Story of 3801. And the way I thought of the whole Flying Scotsman 3801 thing much differently. You see, when 3801 discovers that he is the equivalent of Flying Scotsman, he becomes so pleased that he makes Flying Scotsman his idol and wanting to work with him. And I too have thought of villains, and they are Victorian Railways, R707 and R761. Basically what they do as villains is that they bully and tease New South Wales engines for being standard gauge, and are very selfish and arrogant of their broad gauge, 5 foot 3 inches, and their arch enemy is 3801 for the sake of the fact that he is Australia's famous engine, and the fact that he is a standard gauge engine. So that is why I took it so personally, to the point that I bullied outsiders' opinions. The fact that I have already been thinking about a 3801 film much differently is why I was like this. And so I just couldn't help but take my anger out on people who liked the idea. Now, I'm not going to give up on this. I am still going to work on it. I'm just shaken up of how I saw 3801 in this. Now, as much as I hate every single scene of 3801 as a villain, I actually, however, will give Stuart some credit because I've got some inspiration for villains in my film. So what the villains do is that they sabotage 3801 and Flying Scotsman's tour and try to frame 3801 in the newspapers. So if it wasn't for this film, I thought none of this probably wouldn't have happened. Look, Stuart, I am very sorry for the trouble that I caused, and I assure you this will not happen again. If you accept my apology, do you think you could, you know, unblock me? I'd really appreciate it, and if it's okay, maybe I could be a part of your creations, perhaps. Now I understand what I did was wrong, and I've learned now, and I will not opinion bash like this ever again. I'm so sorry, Stuart. This will never happen again. I swear. Look, mate, I'm very, very sorry for what I did, and if anyone likes 3801 as a villain, that's fine. I'm not going to opinion bash you again. Oh, and to elaborate on a particular comment of yours, yes, I have learned my lesson. I've learned that it's not right to insult others who don't have an equal opinion. But you've got to understand that 3801 isn't just any old steam engine. It's our Flying Scotsman, our famous engine in Australia. 3801 is a hero to us, and although I'll respect your opinion, it's not fair to see our beloved engine as a villain. Also, in case you didn't know, I made a rant video about Stuart's film, and this is what I said to you, TrendLove16, and Furman at the end. And you three, if you're watching this, go f*** yourselves. I'm sorry for saying that to you too. Now, because of the fact that I've already been thinking about my own future animated film about 3801, that I've took Stuart's film so personally to the point that I bullied 3 outsiders' opinions, but there was one that I never bullied, yet he is being ungrateful. This guy is called Hudson Train Guy 12. Oh my god. You are the most ungrateful I have ever f***ing seen. Basically, this guy has no problem with the villain, which I'm now fine with, but this guy never said so in the first place, and after I uploaded my rant video, he has somehow got upset over my criticisms, and now he has ungratefully decided to block me on YouTube and even Twitter. So yeah, I did nothing wrong to this guy, yet he has blocked me for stupid reasons. Oh, and let's look at a particular comment he said in my rant video. Says the one who literally has no constructive criticism about the movie, and also, he is not like Victor Tanzig, and the way you are acting is like a 2-year-old not being able to get candy at a fucking store. First of all, Victor Tanzig is a sick cunt, and 2, I know Stuart's not like Victor Tanzig. I just brought up Cuthbert. I just said the villain could have been Cuthbert, seeing being one in Victor Tanzig's stories of Sodor. That's all I said. Thirdly, this is my constructive criticism. I mean, when Thomas wanted to Henry Freeman make Gordon go swimming, Gordon was jealous of Mel's record, and he didn't try to sabotage his visit. He just tried to out-record him, but ended up having an accident. And last of all, I am not acting like a 2-year-old not being able to get lollies from a shop. I just took this characterization very personally because of the fact that I've already been thinking of a characterization myself since 2021. So this means that you owe me an apology, and you don't have the right to block me. And lastly, you keep spelling review wrong. It's spelled like this, not like this. Now this guy I didn't bully. He is a fellow Australian like myself and hates 3801 as a villain. However, he is aware of me and he agrees with my opinion, but not my attitude. Look, Warbungle, I am sorry for my behaviour. I know it was unfair, but it was my future creation I've planned is the reason I was like this. And by the way, I saw your comment on Stuart's post, and I would like to say 2 things. 1, yes, I did take it way too far. In fact, I took it personally. Very, very personally. And 2, I don't mean be a horrible person. In general, I'm actually a very pleasant person, just not in this case. And I'm sorry for it, and it will never happen again. Also, there are some things that I can fixate on, and here is one of them. Trainboy11 did this really good recreation of 3801's defeat in the film, and mainly because there are 3 3801s, one of them being called Noah, who I'm going to assume is the 3801 3801. Let's watch it and you'll see what I mean.
Noah, Are you sure it was your brother's intentions? Yes, Scotsman. I known him for a long time, but he was always like that. I didn't expect him to be, like, sabotaging our tour. I mean, why would he do that? Ah, mate, good to see ya. You ready for the final train of the run? We are most certainly not, bro! Come on now, Noah. Besides, you would be impressed if your brother Kicker would still be here. Besides, he's in the workshop getting maintenance. You know that you want to see him. Oh, blow it out your funnel, Cardiff! Yeah, and besides, we're not taking a train with you on it. Besides, Noah told me about your intentions. And I now understand what you're up to. What do you mean of what I'm up to? Noah, Archer, you're selling me out? Cardiff, settle down. Noah can tell you. Noah, tell me what you're doing right now. I'm selling you out. As I thought. Then you can say goodbye to your brother Kicker. What? Kicker? I warned you what would happen. My reputation of trying to be you is ruined. And now you've ruined everything. My popularity is ruined. And it's all because of you, Noah. Can I just stop you there for a minute? I thought you were selling me out, Archer. Mate, you just sold yourself out. What? Cardiff, I am not at all pleased with your behavior. You tried to make us look like a fool in front of Scotsmen, but it was you all along. And not to mention, you tried to take over your brother's work. I am not happy with you at all, Cardiff. But sir! No buts. And I had enough of this attitude of yours you had for all these years. You're going to be dismantled. What? But sir! No buts, Cardiff. This is what you get. And you're getting what you rightfully deserve. Shane, take Cardiff away. He's not turning his wheels for months. Right away, mate. Come on, you. So long, Cardiff. I'll break your smoke boxes for this. I'll make sure that you guys never operate again. Just you wait and see. Scotsman, I am terribly sorry about my brother's behavior. I never knew this would affect you. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. It was your brother. He got what he deserved. Why don't I make it up to you? Why don't we both double head our final train? What do you say to that? I would really like that, Noah. Thanks. No problem, Scotsman. Besides, we're both famous engines.
You see now? That is a very good video. In fact, 3801 is also one of his favorite engines, so that also means that he hates Clyde. Now Stuart, I know what you might be thinking. What the hell makes you think I'm going to unblock you? Well, look, I know that I wasn't very nice to the people who like the villain, but come on, I've changed now. I've learnt my lesson. Besides, I don't want to be that Percy Engine Productions 061 anymore. This is the new Percy Engine Productions 061. Now I sincerely promise that I will respect people's opinions on certain things, and I will never bully anyone who likes something that I don't like. I promise it will never happen again. I understand that it was very wrong of me to bully those people, and I really want a chance to make the wrong things right. I want to show you that I have changed, and I would really like you to unblock me, so I can prove myself. I promise strongly that I am not going to insult or bully anyone who likes the idea of 3801 as a villain. So if you do trust these promises and think about unblocking me, I would be very grateful. Anyway, I hope Kira turns out really fantastically. One in the Austeam mission was a disappointment, because it's such a wrong opportunity to see 3801 be characterized like this. I mean, I was really expecting for the two to be working with each other like best bros. Just why would the famous engine in Australia act like this? Why is he blinded by his own fame? Why is he such a prick? Wouldn't it make sense if he acted like the Flying Scotsman? I mean, I'm sorry, but this is just wrong. You can't be the equivalent but not act equal. And if I'm being brutally honest, there's been a lot of fan-made films and such where a popular engine slash character meets another popular engine slash character, and usually they get along greatly. Why couldn't that happen here? I was so hoping that 3801 and Flying Scotsman were going to get along greatly, but no, Stuart decided to write him being against him. I thought Stuart was going to have this idea, but clearly not. Again, you can't be the equivalent if you're not going to act equal, because that's what equivalent means. Equal. I'm sorry, Stuart, this is just stupid and selfish. Writing something that features a national icon being written in a negative way that is going to upset people from the nation, like here. And maybe if 3801 was a hero, none of this would have happened. Okay. Look, I'm sorry for raising my voice. Here, let me tell you about my film. The story of 3801 is about, well, 3801. It's basically going to take place in the same universe as Thomas and Friends, and I've been thinking about this since 2021. This is going to feature many Australian actors such as Dave McCormack, who voiced Bandit Healer in the famous Blue series, is going to be voicing 3801. It's basically about the history of 3801, explaining how and why he became Australia's famous engine, and references Easter eggs and certain alterations to the real-life historical events. For one thing, the whole 3801 and Flying Scotsman thing is much different here than in Austeam mission. So 3801 is basically somewhat like a Flying Scotsman 2.0, where he has the same characteristics, personality traits, and instincts like the Flying Scotsman. And when he finds out that he is the equivalent of the equivalent of the world's famous engine, he gets so pleased that he tries to tie with Scotsman's record, becomes his idol, and has a lifelong dream of working with him. And he really loves associating with fellow celebrities. So here, 3801's like, come on, Scotsman, let's show Australia what we're truly made of. Rather than here, how he's like, get the fuck out of here, you push cunt. This will also feature a motto with the two engines, and that is, celebrities must always work together, no matter who's more famous. So yeah, this is the whole reason why I caused trouble for Stuart's film. To prove that I am sorry, tomorrow I'll be deleting all of my bullying replies in the comments section of Stuart's film. Now, I'm not going to delete all of my replies, just the bad ones. The ones that will stay are the ones that I agree with the other Australians that 3801 as a villain is a bad idea. Some I could just edit. Now, some of you are aware that I've made a rant video about the film. Now, I want to delete that too, but here's the thing. I can't, because Stuart has made a post about it, and there are comments regarding the rant video, and if I delete my rant video, people are going to come across these particular comments and try looking for the rant video, and they're going to be confused as hell and are going to ask, what are they talking about? Unless Stuart just tells everyone to delete anything regarding the rant video, I guess that might help. Speaking of comments, what surprises me is that after I first watched the Austeam mission, I literally said the maturest thing out of the situation, and that is, I'm sorry, but this is just terrible. Just the way he made 3801 an utter prick just humiliates me. Delete it now and restart it. Probably because after watching it, I died inside and heartbroken about witnessing his evil characterization, and I was going to leave it there, but then I just started to tear the whole place down. So yeah, sometime after this, a great rage rose up inside of me. How dare they love and praise his characterization after his idea done to my dream? However, as I just said, I'm not gonna give up on this. I am still going to try and achieve the stream. Also, speaking of comments, this is a comment Stuart said to me 5 months after release of Austeam mission and before my rant video. At this point, I think we've all had enough of you. All you're doing is just antagonizing everyone you come into contact with and making this whole thing worse. Now, I recommend you stop embarrassing yourself, grow up, and respect those who like the idea of 3801 being the antagonist, or so help me, I will block you. I understand you didn't like the antagonist of this movie, but that does not give you the right to antagonize others for simply liking the idea. Okay, now, Stuart, please don't take this as unapologetic, but I need to tell you something about that in my rant video. You were right to block me and all. I really do understand that you did what you had to do, but I just need to say this one level of disappointment. I said in the description that was going to be the last time I bully anyone's opinions about 3801 as a villain, and hence being the last time, I basically said, do not block me, as it was the last time. But what did you do? You blocked me anyway, when I said it was the last time. I understand that you did what you had to do, but I want to prove to you that I am a new person. Now, I am going to do a video tomorrow of me deleting my bad replies. As I said, there are some good replies I made, and the good ones can stay. Now, if you are going to take the decision to unblock me, could you make a community post telling everyone to delete the comments that regard my rant video, so that way I can delete it? This is something that I wanted to do for quite a while, but first I need to tell you these 4 things before I do so, alright? 1. Please don't do anything that might involve blocking. 2. It is not what you'll think it'll be. 3. Don't take this as any of this troll business. And 4. Don't take this as stalking either. Okay, are you ready? Train level 16, as it seems, I'm afraid you have been talking to me this entire time. Yes, that is my real name and surname and a whole new account. Let me explain. I want to prove to you that I have turned over a new leaf, and that I don't mean to be this troll person you think of me as, and whenever I just seem to say something, you just accuse me for being a troll when I don't mean to be one. So yeah, you've actually been talking to me this entire time. Ever since this stream of yours, you're actually seeing my real name on your streams. So yeah, that is my real name, Levko Domza, but you can call me Levko. And that means that was me telling you to watch my meme video, and me telling you that I deleted the meme video. Now, and in situations like this, I have to pretend I am someone else up until now. So yeah, secretly, I've been part of your streams. Do you trust the fact that I've turned over a new leaf? The fact that I had a different expectation, and the fact that I only hated the things you said about 3801? Not you yourself? Hell, I'm surprised that you didn't comment on my rant video, and whatever it will be, I guarantee that it would not be what you expect my reply to be. Also, I actually was expecting a few people to be upset about the whole thing. I wasn't expecting you to not be mad. I actually was. Now, I know that you know that the whole reason is because I had a different idea of the Stuarts, but the reason why I was so unfair to the people who liked 3801 as a villain is because, in general, I just thought it was disrespectful to like a national icon portrayed as a villain. And 3801, of course, is a national icon. And this idea is, to me, nothing but disgraceful and disrespectful. Disgraceful because it's an insult to the real engine and all those who celebrate it and for what it's done. And disrespectful because something that is praised with honor, pride, and respected as a hero is just generally insulting. So do you now understand why I acted this way? Do you understand why I couldn't be rational? Now, I would say that I don't think anyone should like 3801 as a villain, but that's just a personal preference, and I'm going to accept their opinion, so I'll keep that true. So in conclusion, same characterization, thought, different expectation, and I do hope that Stuart and a few other people accept my apology and unblock me. Hell, me and Trendlove16 could even be friends. So, do you accept my apology? Do you trust me that this will never happen again? I guarantee you I mean it truthfully. By the way, Trendlove16, there's something I want to correct you on. When you were telling Odd about me reporting the video, I didn't report the video just because I didn't like the villain. I reported it because I thought the villain was disgraceful. That's what I actually did. Okay? Not because I didn't like it, because I thought it was disgraceful.